It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Actually, it's a family matter. Dun, 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 dun. All right, guys, we're talking season 3, episode 6 of The Oval, entitled "A Family Matter." And my goodness, this episode was kind of a mixed bag for me. I wasn't necessarily bored to death. I feel like I've used this phrase a lot talking about The Oval this season, and well, for the most part, it felt like more of the same. You know, we got little tidbits of setup for the next episode, but I do feel like some things are getting stale. I mean, we're only 6. Why do I feel like season 3 is almost over, but we're only 6 episodes into what I believe is a 22 episode season? But, you know, I'm going to hang in there. Hopefully things, get better soon. But as I get into the review, I'm obviously going to point out the things I feel have really gotten repetitive in this series, in this season. So I'm giving the episode a 4 out of 10, not because I despised it, but to me personally, it felt kind of meh. I think one of the contributing factors is the multiple scenes with Sharon and Kareem, and then the ending scene, which, oh boy, when we get to that ending fight scene, wait till I get to that. But before moving forward in the video, please take a moment to hit the thumbs up button to show you like it. Hit subscribe, because we are less than, we're less than 1,200 people away now from 190,000 subscribers. Follow me on social media, links are in the description below, and hit the bell icon selecting all. That way you're notified whenever I post content to the channel. So, let's get into it. The episode actually starts off not how I expected it to start off. We actually have the confrontation between Victoria and Priscilla in the yellow room. Obviously this is the place where Sam and Victoria had relations. And, Victoria's just trying to use this as a power move to taunt Priscilla, who's rather unbothered by the entire situation. Wait, what's wrong? Do you not like the color yellow? No, I don't. It has vibes of being pink. Pink? Kitty pink. I'm not going to say the other P word in case of demonetization, but I actually liked Priscilla in this scene. I think because she was more subdued, and this was more of her calm, cool, collected self. No, the best word is, I loved how unbothered she was. That's what I liked about Priscilla in this scene. She wasn't too over the top. And, oh wow, what, are you testy? No, bitchy. I didn't mind that. I feel like the performance was better than her being over the top, like, I want to cut a bitch, that kind of thing. So I really like Priscilla in the scene. But just to kind of summarize it in one sentence, Victoria tries to get answers out of Priscilla about what her true position in the White House is. Even before the theme song, I was a bit shocked that she said something along the lines of, just because you F my father, don't think you have power over me. What? So no, Victoria automatically assumed that Priscilla was having relations with her father, or was taking some sort of, bribe or money or payment to be a mole within the White House. But apparently she works for people even more powerful than her father. I just feel like her father knows the chain of command or the pecking order, and Priscilla, well, as they say about a lot of celebrities nowadays, so-and-so must be protected at all costs. But before they could really get further into this interrogation, Victoria keeps asking the same thing. What's your position? Oh, I'm a chef. I know you don't trust anything I make. And that's it. And then Sam rushes in and basically begs the First Lady to come along with him because of her son. Donald goes to the Oval to talk with Hunter about the same thing, but before Donald can even get a word out, Hunter just wants Donald to set up a tour of the White House for Sharon, basically in a move to show Ellie that she isn't the only person that Hunter messes around with. So essentially Sharon is just a tool in order to, get Hunter off, but at the same time make Ellie jealous. Okay. But thankfully, Donald interjects and tells him about how Jason tried to take his own life. And then we go to the residency. You got Kyle, Sam, and Donald, standing around, while Hunter and Victoria are right across from Jason. And he's definitely having an episode here. But, okay, let me summarize the scene and then give my thoughts. So we have Jason, kind of breaking down. When Kyle tells, Hunter and Victoria what happens, like, I don't know, sir, he was just hanging there. And then Hunter's trying to talk to Jason, whereas Victoria keeps taunting him about this little psychopath killer. What? I'm going to kill you, Mom. I'm going to kill you. Well, how are you going to kill me if you're dead, you idiot? So the taunts just keep coming. Keep calling me names to see what happens. And Victoria's like, look, we need to have him committed. Yet he doesn't want to be committed, yet he tried to take his own life, and I don't feel sorry for him. I know there are those who are like, Jason needs help, Jason needs this, Jason needs that. Victoria snaps on everybody to have Donald, Sam, and Kyle leave so they could it's a family matter to have their discussion. Victoria just leaves, just calls him more names and goes, and then, Hunter and Jason have a one-on-one. It's just the same old, same old. I hate her so much. I could easily kill her. Come on, Dad. And Hunter's like, I don't want you hurting yourself or harming yourself. Yet you did not say you also don't want your son hurting other people. Okay, I see what's going on here. So he tries to reconcile, like, I know I wasn't there, but let me be there now. Jason's like, it's too late. Okay, go to your room. And then he goes to his room with the door open, but then he locks it shut. And then after that, Donald, tells Hunter, look, sir, I think your wife is right. You're right, but I don't want you to say that ever again to me. So Donald's going to look into a place to have Jason committed. And then also Alonzo gets called up and is on guard to watch Jason's every move. Okay, let's talk about this scene. Going back to early season 2, remember after Jason killed his grandmother and hit the emergency hatch on the plane so it would make that emergency landing, and then he got taken back to the White House because remember he wanted to get back to cover up Jean's murder, and then his parents confronted him over that, and then he revealed the whole thing about killing Denise and killing his grandmother as well. So that's 3 murder victims right there in that conversation. And then Jason had a heartfelt, rant or argument with his parents about how the reason I turned out the way I did is because you all weren't there in my life showing love and everything. So I remember at that time, I'm like, that's a compelling character background, but I don't think it works in the context of him being a serial killer, because not having parents who were there is a very relatable thing for viewers to understand, but to go to the extreme of this guy being a killer and yet try to gather sympathy for him, I'm not buying it. So this whole thing with Jason still being around despite the bodies piling up, him attempting to take his own life. So yes, I guess this debunks the theory of his grandfather sending somebody in to do it because of something he says later in the episode, or, having anything at all to do with Jason doing what he did. No. And then Hunter trying to be a father, even though he's 15, 17, 18 years too late. And then when we get to him again, he's just thinking about getting some ass. So Victoria is always saying, get him committed, get it committed. I got a question. So apparently wherever Gail is, obviously isn't somewhere that's a known place to the public, so to speak. Yet there's no press or media or anybody trying to get answers. Where's the first daughter? Why haven't we seen Gail? What's going on? Yet you don't want to have your son committed in reference to Hunter because of the embarrassment to the administration and the family. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why don't you? Victoria keeps saying send him off to where Gail was or Gail is, but that's been a couple of days now. and nobody's moving forward on that. I don't understand exactly what Jason's purpose is in the White House when it's just the same thing over and over again. He's either harming himself or mainly creeping and harming on other people. And in this instance, he tried to take his own life. I don't know at what point is the wake up call. Like in this episode, Hunter did agree with Donald. You know what? My wife is right. We need to have him taken somewhere. How much you want to bet the next episode that's never even brought up? Or Hunter acts like, no, my son isn't going anywhere. So you say you want your son to do better and, take care of himself, not to harm himself, but you can't try to be a father for 2 minutes and then the instant your son doesn't want it anymore, you just go chase after another ass. No, you ought to be getting Secret Service to, break the doors down and you sit up in there with your son, because guess what? You're not doing a damn thing on your job. So I don't understand what's going on at all. Okay, so Richard is about to leave to go to work, and he said he'll bring Barry to the White House to go talk with Sam. And Barry's like, you sure that's a good idea? I like the nod to continuity because that's in reference to, hey, well, the last time I was in that house, that first daughter tried to accuse me of doing stuff to her, and that led to a whole lot of trouble. So I love the nod back to season 1, just like last week when Barry remembered the Denise stuff. But he actually Richard gives Nancy the money to bury Piggy because, look, I'm still hurt after everything that happened, but I can't let you not bury the boy. And she's like, well, hey, thank you so much. And I know I hurt you, but I appreciate this. Priscilla gave me the money for the funeral and all. I'm actually just going to give this money back to her, because of what she did. Now, I don't know how much money Richard had in that envelope he handed to Nancy, because I can't remember the exact amount just because it feels like it was so long ago. I know I had it in my notes, but that was like 4 notebooks ago, guys. I threw that away. Go back to the Oval playlist. I know I did a video about it because Priscilla gave Nancy like, what, $20-something thousand to put on one hell of a funeral for her son. Of Sam's money, that is. And, they're just hugging, and then Barry interrupts, just being a little brat. Oh, come on, that little nasty stuff. Come on, we gotta get out of here. But they actually go to the White House, and they talk with Sam. And I'll just skip ahead to this scene. So they get to the White House, and they go to like one of the back rooms, and Barry tells Sam about the whole Denise and Max thing, about how the story doesn't add up. Like, hey, I was in there when Max was in there. He even had a pair of white gloves on, like he would take her by any means necessary. And Sam is, well, just, and I'm not, mad at the scene, but yet again, it's just set up, but also more the same. It's like, I can't say anything, but I'll look into this, I'll look into that. If Sam had a list, Sam is literally David, I'll handle it. Like, I'll look, no, Sam's catchphrase is, I'll look into it. I'll look into it. I'll try to figure out what's going on. No, you're spending way too much time trying to figure out what position Priscilla really plays at the White House. So I don't know if you have time to look into the Cali thing with the Rakadushi. Well, actually, that's nothing he can do because the FBI is already involved, trying to figure out things with Priscilla, trying to keep away from Victoria. He's trying to protect Victoria because he doesn't know how far Priscilla's going to go. And then, trying to figure out this whole thing with Max, given the fact that, he knows Max is still alive. But, after Barry leaves, because Richard's like, wait, are you leaving? Yeah, well, I'm trying to get out of here as long as I don't run into that evil little bitch. But that's in reference to Gail, because remember the last time they saw each other, that's when Barry walked in on Picky and Gail. But then after that, Richard asked Sam about Priscilla, like, Sam asked Richard about Priscilla, like if she works in another department. And then Richard's like, what do you mean, laundry? Housing? What's going on? Nothing, Richard, nothing. I'll talk to you later, man. So, going back to Hunter, he's in the Oval calling Sharon, but she ignores it. After that, he calls Kyle in and basically tells Kyle about how lonely it is to be in this position of power and how he doesn't like being ignored. So from there, it's funny because Kyle thinks, he gives his condolences first off, thinking that Hunter is in pain or grieving about what his son attempted to do to himself. But No, he just wants some ass. So he tells Kyle, hey, get this girl. He shows a picture of Sharon to Kyle on his phone. And Kyle's face is like, oh shit, because remember, Kyle knows who Sharon is. And, you know, you can tell he's kind of taken aback. And from there, Hunter's like, bring her here by any means necessary. It's like, what's that look on your face for? It's like, sir, or does she know she's coming to the White House? Kyle, did you not just hear what I said about being lonely? So Kyle is just sent to go get her and bring her back immediately. Going back to the pharmacy, Sharon's helping out a customer, and, you know, Kareem comes up for a price check. And this is where I started to roll my eyes at the episode. So after the customer's taken care of, and oh my goodness, wait, no, you know, I was about to say, oh my gosh, this is the first time we've seen a customer, and then they're like, no, we had Vince come in, and then we had Frida come in this season. So the pharmacy is still, people are still coming in. So after Kareem slides his greasy ass up to the front, I just knew where this was going. He asked, oh wow. Wait, what is it, Kareem? He's acting all super. It's the same thing. He's acting all sweet and everything. And then it turns out it's the anniversary of the day that he and Sharon met. And in the card that he gave her, it's funny though. I did laugh when she was like, look, I've seen this card. I've read it a million times. No, read the card, Sharon. She opens the card and there was like a daisy or something from, you know, like a carnival they were at. And, you know, she's like, well, yeah, you cheated most of our relationship. But then in the midst of their conversation, because I was waiting for the asshole part, because that's how Kareem acts. He, you know, says the right things to get her to smile, then says something that's super creepy, inappropriate, that pisses her off, and then he gets pissed off, and it's the same thing every day. But Dale runs in, and he's not looking too good because he wasn't discharged, but he escaped the hospital because the chief of staff came in to see him. And Sharon wants to get him to the office to rest because, you know, this is not good. You know, obviously Kareem is like, no, we need to get him back to the apartment or something. Being at the pharmacy isn't a good move because, you know, somebody might be after him. But Sharon's like, no, he's going to the office to rest right now. Now, moving on to the next scene. Lily pulls up to the White House and Bobby's dressed up like a Secret Service agent. Hopefully I'm not wrong about the video I did. What was it, yesterday or the day before? Where there was the one scene of both Max and Bobby dressed in Secret Service attire. What I thought was season 4 could indeed just be season 3. Like somehow Bobby gets Max in disguise as a Secret Service agent and they both bust out of the White House. But either way, yeah, Lily pulls up this as far as she can go with him. He gets out the car and just walks through one of the doors. Look, I'm not an expert in security or the White House, but for Bobby to just be able to slip through a back door like that, doesn't that seem a bit unrealistic? Look, I know this is a TV show. There are plenty of things in the show that are completely unrealistic, but I don't know if I could let that slide. It just seemed way too convenient. So Lily's just freaking out. It's like, oh God, I hope this works. So Dale is with Sharon in the office. She gives him, I believe, some like pain medication, and she's like freaking out because she wants to fight the system. Like, no, we need to call the police. We need to do something. This isn't right. These people coming after you. And Dale's like, no, I'm just trying to lay low, Sharon. This is the equivalent of those memes where when a restaurant gets your food order wrong, but then your girlfriend or wife goes off. He said he didn't know. He said he didn't want no pickles on the sandwich. He's like, oh, damn, I ain't wanted all this attention. I just wanted to take this sandwich and go. But yeah, she'll have, she's basically going to get Kareem to take Dale home because, you know, he's in bad shape. Now, when she goes to talk to Kareem, she basically, you know, acts all, well, I mean, hell, she is cute as I don't know what, but, you know, she puts her, you know, shoulder on the counter, bats her eyes, and is like, we can discuss this over dinner. Will I have you for dessert? I'll think about it. So basically she gives, this is like Kim Possible with the like pouty face and puppy dog eyes to get anybody to do what she wants. But you could argue Kareem is an asshole, but if I were in his position, I don't think I would act any differently than him. Because when you think about it, okay, we hired Dale. And then all these weird things happen. Like the person that came in here and shot him Nothing was stolen. He must be wanted. There might be people coming after him, and him being in this pharmacy, let alone the apartment, that could put a, bullseye on me, on my home. And I completely understand that. I mean, Sharon's all like, no, you're going to do this. It's the right thing to do. Bitch, are you paying rent? Why don't you take Dale to your sister's house? How about that with her kids? Do you think that's a good move? No, you're not going to put a bullseye on my place where I live. So I'm not mad at Kareem, to be honest. If anything else, I'm surprised he didn't try to get him back to the hospital or something. But with, Kareem being nervous as hell anytime Sam just walks into the pharmacy, knowing that you have people from the White House and people going after Dale coming to your place of business and possibly even your home, I don't think Kareem is in the wrong. So there we go. But we go over to Richard talking with Priscilla, asking about, what have you told Sam? What are you talking about? Basically, this is exactly like the preview. The fact that Richard brings up Sam questioning certain things that he might not question if Priscilla didn't say anything. But Priscilla just says, you know what? Again, it's the same thing. What are you doing here? I'm working. Why didn't you lose your job? You yelled at her. I cussed that bitch out. You could say, Richard, we're alone. 3 years, 11 months with these people. So I guess in continuity, about a month has passed since the first episode, I guess. But apparently there's something big going on. Like even Richard's in on it. So Richard and Priscilla are, I guess you could say, quote unquote, above the pay grade. Like, their positions of butler and chef aren't exactly what they seem. They actually know a lot more than what's really going on. Of course, Richard brings up the Jason thing. Priscilla doesn't care. And, they can't know about it. Like, you're not supposed to tell them anybody about what we do because they would be mad. Who the hell is they? Now it's starting to sound like Sam. So then we go over to Max losing his shit in confinement. I mean, whoever opens that door to get him out of there better pray that Max is far away from him because somebody's about to get jumped. I'm assuming Bobby's going to be the one who gets him, but and remember, I have not seen the preview for next week yet. I've only seen the end credit trailer. So Alonzo's actually inside of Jason's room. I forgot to mention this earlier in my notes, but it was just a throwaway line where Alonzo is actually standing on the inside of the room watching Jason, which somebody should have done, Kyle, last week when it was reported that he was having a manic episode to make sure he didn't do anything crazy. So yeah, he gets a text from Alan about if they're meeting up tonight, and then he says, no, I'm babysitting the kid. I don't know how long it's going to take. And then, of course, Jason taunts him about, being weak because he said he hung himself, not because he was trying to take his life, but he gets a sexual thrill from the choking. Have you ever choked anybody? Have you ever killed anybody? Oh, I killed 3. Jean, my grandmother, my dad's whore, beheaded her with a sword. And I'm thinking the whole time, Alonzo, why are you talking to this little psychopath? So, from there, I guess he's watching porn. It's like, because he's like, how'd you kill Jean? I'm not telling you because you're weak and you remember that, bitch. And then he gets on the bed and you hear groaning. So this guy is obviously looking at porn. Sharon closes the store and here we go. Somebody's trying to come in, but she put the closed up sign and Kyle pops in like, what the hell's going on? The door was locked. Sharon, I need to talk to you. And she tries to run away. Kyle grabs her. And then, she starts doing some punch back. Look, I'm not trying to sound sexist. I'm not saying women cannot fight. I am not saying that at all. But, you could tell Sharon probably took some self-defense classes or whatever because it felt like there should have been those like little squeaky toy teddy bear noises every time that Sharon hit Kyle. Like, I was waiting for her. That little squeak, squeak when you like, when a toy says press me, that's literally what it sounded like. So she kept like wailing on Kyle, but then he eventually like tripped her up and kind of held her down and was choking her. Like, I don't want to make this harder than it needs to be, Sharon. So then like she takes her foot and like kicks him from behind the head, gets up, and I think she like takes one of the little crates that are in the open aisle full of like, gizmos and whatnot and shoves it over. Then he grabs her from behind. She bites his hand and then kicks him into like one of the mop buckets or whatever. And then after that, she goes behind the counter and gets the gun. How the hell does that make any sense? Like, I can understand Kyle not going all out because the goal is to get her to the White House in one piece, even though it's by any means necessary. Now, some people online have been saying, well, why didn't Sharon just listen to what he had to say? First of all, if somebody broke into your home when the door, let's say you were locking up for the night and you're the only one at home, because remember, Kareem took Dale back to the apartment, because that's why when Sharon heard a noise like, hey, Kareem, is that you? Wait, what the hell? How would you react? I mean, sure, Kyle didn't have a gun drawn or anything, but to have somebody in your place of business, at your job, or at your home when nobody should be there, how would you react? Yeah, you wouldn't want to talk. I mean, sure, you might stand there and let them talk in order to monologue as you plan your next move. Okay, like, what can I throw at them? What's the closest thing to me? I'm sorry, I hit my box. Hey, that's my closest weapon, the box. What can I use as a weapon? But she tries to run away, and it's like, Sharon, come on now, you can't. This was basically the equivalent of Jean trying to escape from Jason. It's like, girl, you ain't gonna make it out of this room before he can grab you. But essentially, you have her wailing on Kyle, and we've seen Kyle in fights before and everything, but really when he's had the advantage, he chased down Denise and not Denise, Diane, and got her alone on the elevator. We saw him ambush Yuma and then ambush Max to get the better of him, because Max was winning that fight at the boutique before Kyle took out the gun and fired rounds into his chest. And then the only time I believe we really saw Kyle get his ass kicked was when Max ambushed him at his apartment. And at that time, again, it was the element of surprise. Kyle had been drinking with Dale, so he was completely off guard. But he still put up a fight but got his ass kicked. In this situation, you're telling me Sharon, who just had a miscarriage, who got discharged from the hospital after being in that car wreck, after getting pretty banged up, not even 24 hours ago, she's able to hold her own pretty well against Kyle. How the fuck does that make sense? Okay, so that's really all I got to say about the episode. Like I said, it obviously set up more things, but we really need to have some things put into motion. Look, I know some people love the ending scene, because a lot of people didn't care that Sharon was able to beat down Kyle. It's just that they love the fact that she was able to do it, because we hate Kyle. But it just doesn't make sense. You have the whole shock value of, Jason tried to hang himself last week. No, he just wanted to get a sexual rush. Well, what? I mean, when are you going to send this little sick psycho away? And then the whole, I just don't get it. And then Alonzo, yeah, he told him everything about the murder. So I'm like, Alonzo, he's probably going to tell like Priscilla everything that was just said about Jason killed Denise, his grandmother, Jean, but he wouldn't tell me how he did it. So I don't know. It's just crazy how that works out. I did love the Nancy and Richard stuff. It's good to see them kind of reconciling. And, obviously good to know Richard isn't letting everything be forgiven, but he's willing to try to move forward if at all possible. Like I said, I'm definitely seeing where Kareem's coming from with not wanting Dale around, because he's kind of like for lack of a better phrase, a black cat bringing bad luck around. And from there, yeah, that's really all I got to say about the episode. We'll see about what Bobby's going to do in the next one. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think a 4 out of 10 was too low? For me, it was kind of, I feel like it's a fair score. And I'm not hating on the show, because I feel like I've done my best to explain why I didn't really like the episode all that much. And last night, I binged everything. Within a couple, I think between like 11:30 to about 1:45, I watched everything. And remember, I watch the shows at double speed, only slowing it down when there's stuff I needed to hear, clearly. So like, it it wasn't like Sisters where a bunch of people hit me up and let me know, oh, the episode sucked. No, I watched the show in a timely manner because I was focusing on the Spider-Man trailer last night. So let me know your thoughts on the Oval, A Family Matter. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App.